Hey, good morning, you all. Good morning to the Secure Dental podcast once again, where I share practical tips from exceptional people, doing real things, meaningful things every day in life, and they're successful. And I want to create a meaningful life for you. You can get some tips out of it, get some financial freedom ideas for you and your family. Hey, my name is Nazish Jafri. I am the CEO and chief clinician still at Secure Dental and a co-founder of Denvia, which is a virtual team helping your front desk. I am so glad that you've joined in today. Today, I have Dr. Emily. She is an exceptional female from UCLA-trained dentist. She's a high-performance business strategist. She's a powerhouse who manages multiple practices while coaching high-level executives to achieve ultra success. She champions for those who started with nothing. Her best title is being a mother of 3. Please welcome Emily, Dr. Emily, at our podcast today. So tell me about your best title. How do you manage that best title being mom for 3 kids?
Well,
and
thank
one
you
of
so
them is
much.
associate and doing so many things.
Well, thank you so much. It's an absolute honor to be here. And thank you for taking the time to do the podcast and to set up the platform so we can all share our stories and learn from each other. So my official title is Best Mom in the World, right? And
Amazing.
why do I say that? Well, I think all moms are best moms. You know, we give so much to our children. What I want the mom to do, though, is I know the children are the most important people in your life, but there's also life, there's also your business and your personal life, and I think you can do that all. So I'm one of those people that I like to say, okay, I do it all. I have 3 beautiful children. They graduated from college. Nobody's on drugs. Nobody is pregnant. You know, that's success.
It's a success for being.
It's a success.
It is.
And so I have my oldest is a dentist. Graduated from UCLA also 30 years after mom. The middle one is a PharmD. He is working for Kaiser Permanente. And the third one, he did a BA at UCLA English, and then he chose to go. I'm in California. He chose all the way across the country to New Haven, Connecticut. He is at Yale University doing a PhD in English.
Oh, amazing.
And one of the reasons, and I don't always share this, why I think I'm the best mom, well, you know what? Everybody got kids going to school and everything. I've had my own challenges. My youngest son actually had gone through being bullied when he was a little kid, and he actually contemplated suicide, right? And of course, he didn't do it. He's at Yale now. But I also want to address that as a mom is you don't only have to take care of your kids when they're at home, right? What do you do when they're at school? Right? Because he was being bullied at school. The thing is, we have to be everywhere. Life demands that of us, right? So even if you're at work and you're worrying about your kid being in school and got bullied or whatever, now when you're at home, then your staff call and something happened to them, right? You're always that motherly figure to everybody. And what I believe is if we got our priorities straight, and I call that clarity, which is where are your values, right? If my value is family, I'm going to drop everything, right? Office need to shut down. It's okay if I need to be with the family. When people don't have that clarity, they're always torn. You know what? I got to go to work. I got to do this. I got to do that. I think I answered this one question on Facebook. Somebody is thinking, oh, you know, I'm making so much as an associate. Should I have my office, right? And I have a very simple answer. Is independence and flexibility important to you, right? Because when you can have the flexibility, yeah, you can take the time off, right? Like today we have this podcast, right? And so I told the staff, I'm coming in late because I'm on this podcast and then I will go to work, right? And I have that flexibility and I don't take that for granted. I know I have it because I own my own office. Right? Now, if you own your own office, you need to change your schedule. Yes, you need to respect the patient. You need to don't take your patients for granted. And if I had to change my patient, schedule because of me, I will make sure that I do something for them. Right? I'm not going to change my patient because all of a sudden I decide to go to a party. Right? But if all of a sudden I got invited to go somewhere last minute to speak, I think I need to serve that particular audience also. And we tell the patient, Dr. Emily has to be at a meeting. Can we reschedule you? Can we offer you whatever, like give you a gift or whatever? So they know that they are valued to you. So I think a lot of time when people say I'm stressed, I'm burnout or whatever, sometimes it's because the clarity is not there. Because going back to the best mom, I got 3 kids when they were younger for 18 years, I calculated. In the morning, I dropped them off at school.
Yes.
At 2:00, I take off from work. So I work from 9 to 2. Then I go pick up the kids from school when they were younger. So they go to the babysitter when they were a little bit older. Sometimes they went to work with me. And then I come back to work from 4 to 6. And I go pick them up. Or, if they're with me, then we go home. I would sign up for, they wanted no after school sport because I am not driving people around, right? I already go pick them up from school. So we would sign up for Taekwondo, which start at 6:30, right? And we're still coming to Taekwondo late. But the point is, you want extracurricular activity or whatever, this is the one that I choose, right? And it gives you the discipline. It gives you the exercise, and it's after work. So I know I will make it, right? Rather than if you go to a soccer thing and I'm one of the mom and I have to drive and I'm late, like why would I put myself in that situation, right? So I think, and I did that for 18 years. I finally traded in my van, and 2 years after they finished, and my friends are asking me, why are you still driving the van? You're driving by yourself.
Used to it.
Yeah. So I upgraded to an SUV because I still need a tall car, right? But that's me, right? I do it. I do it all by my choice. And I do it to the best of my ability. And I know you may have some of the younger doctors. I think that's one of the most important things to get in your head is you got to do things by your choice. The only thing that I ask is your choice need to be educated. Yeah. So just because somebody said do this, well, read some magazine, read some book, read some, go to some seminars or get somebody to help you, work with you. So you actually know what is the best path forward. Because it's just like when you're in dental school, right? You go to school, you don't know how to drill, and you're taught to drill a particular way. And then when you're in clinic, you're going to have some instructor who tell you, okay, do this, it's faster. And then you go to work and they say, no, this is what you do. It's even faster.
Yeah. But, you're learning.
Right. But somebody taught us, right? And we take on that training. And so we need to do the training for our life and for our business. Sorry, very long answer.
No, this is amazing. And Emily, there's so many things I could relate. I know your kids are older. Mine are still very young. They're still in single digits, 5, I think 9. And one turned 11 just yesterday. It was her golden birthday. And I remember...
And you know that she knows everything, the 11-year-old.
Oh, everything. Everything. They know. Yeah. I think my 11-year-old is more naive. My 5-year-old, she knows everything in the world.
Oh, I remember when my kid was teenager, they would tell me, Mom, you don't know anything about relationship. And I'm like, okay, I agree. That's it. I'm not going to even fight.
Yeah. When I do Kumon with them, they hate Kumon. And just like you, I have activities that I can do at home and after 6. And they think that Kumon is the worst thing in the world. And they think that I don't know how hard it is for them, how hard their life is for that 30 minutes because I never did Kumon.
Right.
But I do resonate with when you were saying about your office and your kids is when we built our first office. I had my daughter after 2 years, and she was so small, I couldn't put her in daycare at that time. I didn't know there was a wait list for it. So I had to bring her to the office every single day. And I would keep her near the sterilizer because that is warm. And I live in Chicago. So I would bundle her up and put her near the sterilizer. So I could also hear, and the sterilizer sound made her go to sleep a little bit.
Well,
But the funny part is that being the mom, you just know your priorities. And sometimes I forget what the priority is because as being a female and a mom and a
business owner.
producer,
Mhm.
you just have to juggle certain things every single day. Your priority is different.
Mhm. Well, it's funny you talk about kids. I actually bought my first office when my kid was almost 2 also.
Yeah.
And she was so small, I carry her in the thing. When I went to check out the office, I walked in with her like that, and the selling doctor go, "What is that?" Well, he knows what it is, and I said, "Doc, this is a baby." And well, you
Yeah.
can't leave the baby at home. I said, "No, I pick her up already, and she's napping.
Yeah.
So she's in a little basket with a towel over it, and that's why my kid never went to daycare, because from what I heard, you have to pick them up on time, right? And the dental office, you're trying to get out, and the patient has
Yeah.
one more
Never.
question. So that's why they went to the babysitter. So it could be
Mm,
more flexible. Like sometimes I pick them up
correct.
late, sometimes I pick them up early. I'm still paying them the same.
Correct.
And my kid went to work with me sometime. And when Jennifer just first, I remember she was in, is it kindergarten? Yeah, we never went to preschool either. I'm not going to be driving people around unless I have to, right? So when she was in
Correct.
kindergarten, and we used to have the appointment card, right?
Yeah.
And I would put her on the counter and say, Jennifer, write, your next appointment. So she would write your name, right? And whatever Thursday, I don't know if no, she doesn't have to write your name, but she has to write out the date, right?
Okay.
And the patient would patiently stand at the counter watching her, right? Like she does this. So when she first finished dental school, sometimes she'd come in and help me a little bit. And the patient, she hated it because she said the moment the patient came in, they would say, I remember you.
You were writing the date.
And when I first bought that office, the doctor was opening on Friday, half a day. So when I bought it, I bought an existing office. I keep the same schedule, right? I'm just going to fit myself in. I had little kids who booked Friday to see Jennifer,
Oh, see,
and
she was your marketing person
I
already.
know. They come in, they go, where's Jennifer? I say, well, Jennifer has whatever today. She's not here. And then the mom said, we booked Friday to see Jennifer, right? And I said, no, if you told me that, I would make sure that Jennifer is here.
She was here.
So I think that's the part about flexibility, right? If you're that kind of person, if you need if you want to put family, as a value, and you let your patients know, right? I had a patient one time wrote a bad review, and I thought it was really funny because the review went something like this: What kind of an office is this? The doctor is late from picking up her kids from school. I'm just like, I told my staff, that's a real patient, because only a real patient would know that I come back from picking up my kids late.
And I'm coming back.
I know, how sometimes you go to, you're in the line. I don't know if you do that in Chicago.
Yeah.
When the kids are younger, you have to stay in line.
Yeah.
And then they take your kid to the curb and then you put the kid in. Well, sometimes you're behind 30 cars, right?
Yes.
And so you can't really time that very well. That's why I gave myself 2 hours, and sometimes I still come back late because maybe I got in the very end of the line.
Yeah.
So when I understand the patient complained, but at the same time, I know the rest of the patient, they know that this doctor is committed to family. Right? So you indirectly tell your patients that you take care of people, that you're a caring person. You don't need to be saying that to their face. You can do things that it signify that that's who you are.
Yeah, I think it goes very hand in hand to the word that you use, hinge moves, small decisions that you make. And I think those small decisions, when I was reading about it, it really made sense. You don't have to make like one decision. Oh, I'm going to walk every single day for 45 minutes. No, you just do it today. You do one today for 15 minutes, then you go. Small decisions make it easy. And I think that might help the burnout a little bit. So talk about your hinge moves. That's a very good
yes,
analogy.
The saying come from, I believe, Dan Kennedy, and he is my personal mentor right now. Little hinges swing big doors. right? So it's when people, and I'm a very simple person. I think that's why it's easy for me to understand that and to adopt it. When some people are very, everything is important, like every detail is important. Sometimes you got stuck in that paralysis by analysis, right? And you don't do those little changes. So one of the things I recommend for people who work with me is to do the Kobe assessment. And it is an assessment. I think it's like $35, right? And it tells you your natural strength. So if you're somebody who's very detail oriented and I'm talking to you, I'm just going to give you maybe 2 or 3 things and give you the reason why you should do it. And hopefully you do it, right? If I give you a whole list, you're going to go home and study the list and then you don't do anything because you're that detail oriented.
Too much, yeah.
Yes. When you tell somebody like me, I'm what we call a quick start. So I make very quick decision. I watched one video, I remember like in the early 90s, Dr. Woody Oakes, who started the Profitable Dentist, the magazine right now. He used to have newsletter and he used to do seminars. And I remember him saying, if you want to grow fast, buy another office, right? What do? I went and bought another office.
Quick start.
I know. Yeah, he said to grow fast. Let me go buy an office. And it is, because if you think about it, if you spend the same amount of time, the 5 years, but you have 3 offices, there's a very good chance you're going to grow faster than having one. And for me, it's easier to do that than to do one. Everybody's a little different. But my point here is, but to think, to simplify things. The little hinge is to simplify things, right? If you, for example, if you say, I want to increase 20%, okay? You look at, how do I increase 5%? Let's start there first. And I would start with something that doesn't take me to do. For example, tell all of your hygienists, tell your assistant, I don't care if you have one staff, tell the one staff, I want you to talk to everybody about aligners.
Correct.
Right? I'm partnering with a gentleman that have a smile simulation, app thing, right? All you do is you just take a picture of the person and it gives a video of the smile, right? So like if I take a picture of you, then you're going to look 30 seconds or a minute later, there's a video of you smiling like this. So it looks very real. That does not take an iTero. It doesn't take you
expensive stuff. Yeah.
Nothing expensive. And it's only, I think it's $200 a month and $2,000 for the year. Okay. Which I think we can all afford, right?
Yeah.
But my point is, it doesn't even take me, your front desk, or even if you have one staff who does front and back, I don't really care. They can talk to the patient when the patient check in. Hey, you want to see a new smile? Yeah. Right? And then they go into, and if the front person haven't done it, the patient got seated, the assistant can do it. If they go to hygiene, the hygienist can do it. Right? And so these are the little hinge, right? And what is the big door? Well, if you do one of these, almost everybody needs clear aligners, right? Because a lot of people have crooked teeth. Almost everybody will need veneers.
Yeah.
Because the smile that they're going to show is a full white smile.
White smile, yeah. Hollywood smile.
But the smile would look full. You know what I'm saying? Like, they smile in all teeth. So the only way to achieve that is aligners and cosmetic dentistry. Right? That's the only way. They actually, I'm pretty sure this is the system. Even if you don't show the teeth, they can make with AI, they can make it that you show the teeth. So do these little things. I mean, I don't want you to go and buy an iTero so you can scan the whole mouth. And then it's going to give the patient a simulation. Now the patient is already 20 minutes in the chair.
Correct.
Right? And now, and then you're trying to talk to them about clear aligners and they go, when am I going to get my cleaning?
Yeah.
They're not even they're not paying attention to the $5,000 case that you're sharing, right? So these are the little things, and I would challenge to say that it takes somebody like me to share that with people to convince them that this is the way you should do. Like I don't want you to go buy the thing.
Yeah, make it easy. Yeah,
make it easy. Make it easy for your staff. Make it where your staff get excited because they just help sell a case, right? And that's the model that I use. Give a bonus to the staff when they sell a case. If you don't know how to do it, let's say it's going to be an all-on-4 and you don't know how to do it. Well, bring somebody in to do it. I don't know. I don't need you to then go, okay, now I got to go learn how to do all-on-4. Why, if it's not your thing, right? And then, take the staff on a vacation trip, like a CE write-off trip, whatever you want to call it. But now you got the staff excited. The staff are going to brag to the patient, right? Hey, Dr. Letran taking us to Cancun. So the patient's like, why? Oh, we're doing blah, 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 blah. And so everybody's talking for you. You don't even have to talk. But you need
and it
to
shows the culture.
Yes, but you're the one with the strategy, right? And when I'm working with people, that's what I tell them. Well, why don't you do this? They come back and go, oh, I got 5 more new patients. Well, okay. Well, that just paid for your consulting.
Yeah, that is true.
But you see, and it's simple things and the things that you can do. I'm one of those people. It's not about you need to buy this, you need to buy that, unless you really don't have whatever minimum things that you need to have. Like a lot of people. I mean, I can't believe I still have patients who sit in my room and say, "Wow, to the digital X-ray." And I don't want to ask, where did you come from? You know what I mean? Because why would you not have digital X-ray? I don't get it.
You're right.
Right?
Yeah, there is people who don't have it. We bought an office which still had that old X-ray machine that we had to dial in back and forth.
Okay.
And I was like, how do you use this? Well, obviously we changed it, but he was using it.
Right.
It was really,
Yeah, I mean, if the staff can use it, okay.
It's good.
Because I'm not using it, right? Let me tell you a funny story. The first time I bought Dexys, many years ago, when Dexys first came out, I think, I have my staff from all the office come to one office. And the Dexys person was doing a demo. Oh, this is how you put it in and whatever. So then I picked the slowest assistant. Like everybody knows she's slow, right? It's just slow, not mentally. She's just a very slow person. And I go, Maria, you take the full out. And everybody just look at me like, okay, you want to waste time or something, right? So of course, Maria, I don't know, she took 15 minutes or whatever. She took the whole full out. So when the rep left, I said, okay, if Maria can do it. And this is by no means putting Maria down, but you know what I'm saying, right? Yeah. I said, if Maria can do it, you guys can all do it. And I said, I give you a week to do digital, right? And in a week, of course, people are still doing, like some do film. Oh, she's using it, so I'm just going to do the film. So I just took all the films
and took it away.
I took it away. It just disappeared. So there's no if or but, right? Yeah. And the reason is because I know it's better for everyone. Right? There is a learning curve. I get that. But I know it's better for everyone. And that's the other thing is you got to know what's better for you, right? For you first.
Makes you efficient.
Because if the office does better, of course you do better. So you need to know that. And once you know that and there's proof, right, that it is better, I need you to push. I need you to be that boss, right?
Yeah.
You're not pushing people to do something unethical. You're not pushing people to do something that they're not capable of. So that's why I said, if Maria can do it, then the rest of you guys can.
Absolutely.
Because she's the slowest person, right? Absolutely, and she can figure it out. She can put in the holder, because I think in dental school, we have the film holder. When we come out, nobody use a film holder, right? It's just a little thing. And then now we go back to using a film holder. So everybody is like, wow, Dr. Letran, this is too bulky, et cetera, et cetera. But everything evolved. So, but you got to, once you have that belief in yourself, you got to push. Because people ask me, how did you achieve this? How could you do that? How did you get your staff to do this? I said, because I know that it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And I will push my staff.
And you made it simple instead of making it hard. Like you said about the camera. So if the app can do it, why would I put my staff in that big Nikon camera, which I have a hard time understanding, and then I'm asking them to understand it and put those flashes when this nice app
Right.
can do it within like 60 seconds.
Well, I mean, the Nikon camera is for a different purpose, right?
Correct.
Because that's for you to document your digital smile. That's different. I'm talking about how do I get the patient interested or engaged
Yeah.
in the reception room, right?
Fast.
Or maybe when they were seated, especially when they're in recall.
Correct.
In
Yeah.
recall, while you're setting up, you can just take the picture. I mean, you can take the patient camera and take the picture, and then they just
Correct.
have it. I remember one of the shocker for me was during COVID. I have this lady come in and said, "Dr. Letran, I need to have Invisalign." And I'm I'm in California, so we were shut down for about 2 years. I said,
Mm-hmm.
we're only supposed to do emergency. We were seeing one patient at a time anyway, so it doesn't matter. We could talk
Yeah.
about whatever because nobody else is around. And I said, I've been talking to you about Invisalign. It's only been 3 years or whatever, right? She was one of those patients that were with me for 25 years, right? The family. So guess why? Because now she's on Zoom and she can tell that her smile is not good enough.
She's watching. Yeah.
Now she is looking at herself, and then she knows other people are looking at herself on the camera. So honestly, she came in. She wanted to do Zoom during COVID, right? Now, I want to just say two things. Number one is it wouldn't have happened if I hadn't talked to her before that, right? So going back to being pushy, right?
Mm-hmm.
You talk to the patient
Talk
come
to
back
them.
6 months, you talk to the patient, you talk to the patient,
Plant
right?
the seed.
Yeah. But you because that's right for her though, right? I'm not trying to sell, so you're going to look better or whatever. You do have crowding, you're going to have perio problem, all that stuff. And then secondly, make it easy, right? Somebody coming in during COVID and want to do clear liners. Okay, nobody is going to report me, right? I'm just going to do clear liners during COVID, right? I had another old lady who come in and say, I want new dentures, right? And same thing. I said, we're only supposed to do emergency. You have a set of dentures, like new dentures, not. I'm just teasing her, right?
Yeah.
And of course, she paid for it or whatever. But my point is, again, being flexible. And because it's your own office. Now, if you're working for someone and they say it can only be emergency, guess what? That patient will not even get in the door, right? Let alone the patient being able to see you. So these are some of the flexibility that I think you can have. I'm not talking, and besides, hey, my daughter is singing today for Christmas. I'm going to come in 3 hours late. And then we have a whole bunch of stuff, right? So another person has their daughter singing. So she's going to come in late. So we all go through that during Christmas.
Yeah.
Because we all have kids and we all know that that's what happened. Or it's going to be a parent-teacher conference, for 30 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
But it's going to be in the it's going to be in the middle of the morning. Yeah. We all have that,
Yeah. Juggling a lot of things and still the business part of it.
Yes, and that's where the flexibility come in. And I can't put a value to it. I think it's priceless. If you want to put a value to it, you do that. But the only way for me to stay sane, I think, since 1997, which is when I bought my first office, is because I have those flexibility.
You created it for yourself because you prioritized what you wanted during the day. And then your culture, you developed that culture. It was just not given to you. You made things happen around you. So everybody was comfortable in small, decisions that you made.
Yeah. And I'm sure you have the same experience like me, because I know I talk about things that everybody experience, right? But I'm sure a lot of us as associate, as we're working, we keep telling ourselves, when I have my office, I'm not going to do that. Right? Whatever the owner is doing that you don't like, right? I remember telling myself, when I have my own office, I will not send my staff home when there's no patient, right? Like these are my pet peeve, right? And so when I have my own office, hey, if you work in the front and there's nothing to do, well, go help the back. So all the staff are cross-trained for that reason. If there's no patient, the back office can do recall. The front office can do recall. You can send a text through Weave, do whatever. But you're not you're not sitting around, because when you sit around, that's when I go and I harass you, right? Like, did you do this? Did you do that? Can you help with
Correct.
this? Can you help with that?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Or you go home if you don't have anything to do. But there's
Yeah, but
always something to do.
yeah, right. But I don't want to give them that option.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Even if I leave early, there's another hour in the day. You stay and you work, and
Yeah.
and if they understand the value, right? Why they're there, and we all want them to make money for their family. Then even if you leave them there an hour by themselves, maybe they're gonna waste 30 minutes, but they will work the other 30 minutes.
Yeah, true. Those are very, very important things, especially different thinking from an associate mindset, because you don't have to worry about all hiring, firing, inventory, things like that. Just go in, do your part of the work. But when you're thinking about owning an office, or now you are an owner of an office, you talk do you have a book, Doctor to Doctor, and you talk about clinical skills and the business mastery of it. Do you want to talk about it a little bit? Like, what is the biggest expensive mistake sometimes these transitions can make?
Well, you know what? I have a new book. It's called The Dentist Manifesto.
Okay.
And I would give it to you, right? I can give everybody a digital copy. And it's a declaration that I think every dentist should make. For example, the first one is being a great clinician, right? I don't mean that you have to be a super dentist. I don't mean that you have to do everything. What I mean is you have got to really give it 100%. If you don't know how to do molar endo, well, please do not do open and med and then refer to somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
Very
Like,
yes.
know your limitation, know what you hate. I think that's very important, because when you do what you hate, the first thing you go is you get stressed, and then you say, I'm burning out, right? But you choose to do it. So being a great clinician is serving the patient and making sure that you are trained properly to do whatever you say you know how to do, right? So these are the declarations you make to yourself. I think the biggest mistake that people make, is really not to trust their gut. And by that, what I mean is to trust your values. Every time I do something because somebody kind of pushed me, and even though my gut tell me don't do this, because you're guided by certain value,
Yes.
it always turned out to be a disaster, right?
I think that happens when the patient needs a root canal. And it needs a root canal, you're going to expose it. And they say, no, please save it. I don't have the money. Please save it for right now. I'm going on a trip. And you get into that tooth, and then you're stuck.
Yeah. Or very simple. They need a crown, but you're going to do a filling. Like, really?
Yes, that's it.
Okay, let me just do a little bonding, and then they come back again. Well, the bonding that you put fell out, right? And I said, yes, remember I told you we need a crown. Well, I'm going somewhere. Can you just fix it again? This is the time waster, money loser kind of thing that you do because you're listening to the patient and you know better than the patient, right? Sometimes you're listening to your boss. And this is years ago. I remember we had a person who come in to put people to sleep, right? And then I'm doing the dentistry because I was the fastest one in the office. So I remember the boss go, okay, patient's ready, go do it. And I said, but the patient needs pre-med. And he said, just do it. And I said, but the patient needs pre-med. And he said, well, you know what? You work here and you need to do it. I go, okay, so I'm going to write down here, Dr. So-and-so wants me to do this without pre-med. Okay, you sign. He never signed. He knows better. But he will push, right? And I don't think it would have killed the patient or anything, but that's what I'm talking about. When your gut feeling tell you, no, don't do it because you know better. Like, you actually have more potential than you know or you trust yourself, so you give yourself credit for, and you actually have that courage. But yes, sometimes somebody got to push it out of you. Like, if somebody tell me, okay, I did this and it was wrong, if I ask them a few questions, I can almost guarantee that they know the answer. They know that they shouldn't have done it, right? Even if the answer is, I shouldn't have done it because I don't know enough, right? But they still go ahead and do it. And this is one of the pet peeve that I have, people say, oh, because they make me do it, right? The office manager make me do it, the whatever. I've been through that. I was an associate for 3 years before I had my own office. I was very nosy. I was like going to the front, looking at how people were doing billing, and I'm talking to them, and I was listening to the doctor, the owner doctor doing the diagnosis, and then he gave. It was one of those offices where the doctor do the diagnosis and you do the treatment.
Oh,
You know those kind of office,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And you know what I do? Whatever I don't agree with, I didn't do. I did everything. It was one of those offices where you sit down, you have to do the whole full mouth. And if there's something I don't agree with, I tell the patient, okay, you come back for this. Okay. Then I go to the front and I tell them to schedule the patient on the day that I'm not there. Okay. So now, if the patient come back and you do it, that's on you. Right. But I'm not going to do what I know is not right.
Correct.
And so people ask me, well, were you unhappy as an associate? I would say I was unhappy in the sense that, maybe they didn't have enough instruments for me sometime, right? I remember one time late in the evening, we had to do a post build up and we ran out of small gloves, right?
Oh.
So here I am with a medium gloves. And I'm trying to hold the hemostat to hold the post, right? And I'm thinking, I don't want this, right? Like, I don't want to, this is basic stuff. I understand sometimes you can just, for whatever reason, you run out of gloves, nobody's keeping inventory. Because the next day we have the right size. But the determination and the conviction that, this is the right thing to do and this is not the right thing to do, it always rests with you.
Yeah.
So I don't agree when people say, well, my boss made me do it. Okay. I can't change my job because it's hard to find a job. There are jobs out there. They may not fit you perfectly. They will fit you temporarily. And if that's how you feel, okay, nothing fits me well, it's time for you to open your own office, right? And those are all personal decisions, personal things that you decide on, right? And I think, every one of us have that power. It's just, I don't know, people decide to delegate it to somebody. Because you work for someone, you have to listen to them. Now, if you're doing, if you work in a factory, you don't have a choice. But we're in a professional setting, right? If you know that this is wrong and you don't agree with this, just have the balls, right? To go and talk to the manager, go talk to the doctor. Yeah, worst case scenario, they're going to fire you. But better yet, maybe you don't have to do it. Like, well, they're going to give it to another associate.
Somebody else to do it. Yep.
Yes. And they will give you what you do best, let's say, right? They used to have me do pedo because, again, I'm fast for whatever reason. And I remember one time, it was like a full mouth stainless steel crown. Okay. This is 1994, 95, right?
Wow.
Full mouth stainless steel crown. And I'm sitting there. And the speaker say, Dr. Letran, are you almost done? And because we put the patient in the sedation. And my answer is no. And then 30 minutes later, Dr. Letran, are you almost done? So think about it. It's like doing a full mouth and they're rushing you, right? But wow. I'm not gonna rush because the little kid is being put to sleep. I mean, it was light sedation. It wasn't general.
Yeah.
But if the kid is sleeping, then I need to take extra time and do a good job. I need to be fast enough, but I need to make sure whatever I stick in there is going to stay, right? Correct. So those are personal decisions that sometimes you make under stress, right? Under pressure. That's why I say it's very important to have that clarity. What's most important to you?
Yeah, and I think what you said, to make decisions under stress is really important, because when you do become an owner, I'm sure you probably saw it from the first time you did get the keys or sign the contract, or you saw it, that those are very hard situations. Those were first time that you were experiencing it. Sometimes we don't know what we're getting into. So that is hard. And you're making those decisions to the best of your ability. And keeping a clear and simple mindset really plays a key to being a good business owner, I think. Every day you're making these decisions. And obviously now you're a business owner since a long time. You must have taken like tons of decisions, which were like, right now, you have to think of something firing right now, buying something right now, something expensive broke, you have to do it. So if we can't take decisions when we're an associate and stand up for ourselves, I think it's hard to
Right.
make decisions when you are an owner and everybody's looking at you now.
Yeah, and I want to expand on that a little bit. That's one of the reasons why I'm a high performance coach, right? And what that means is I help people become another person, right? A high performing person. So that same clarity, decision making thing, right? Whatever power that you think about right now as, oh, I'm only an associate, right? And then, oh, now I'm an owner. It's the same mindset that you should take in life, right? When you're talking to your spouse, maybe you guys don't agree on something. When you're talking to your kids, right? Even when you're talking to your extended family. My extended family they firmly believe that I'm crazy. Okay. They would tell me, okay, you've been a dentist for 30 years and you still don't know what you're doing. Like you're going to the seminar. And I said, I don't know, every time I go, I just feel more stupid, right? Because they would say something that I say, how come I don't know this? Right? Anytime you have a conversation with somebody who is successful or more successful than you, maybe somebody going through a challenge, you feel like, how come I don't know this? Right? And then you have that drive, which I think all of us, and I challenge all of us to be a lifelong learner. Right? You don't think that you know the most. You could be very successful as a business owner, but if you want to learn, which is what you help people, right, to think bigger, you're not just in your dental office. You can do more. You can invest, right? You can grow your wealth while you sleep, essentially, right? These are things that if you are willing to learn, you can grow faster. You can be more successful. Maybe a few, just as an example, maybe a few extra thousand doesn't make a big difference in a dentist's income, but that could make a nice vacation. You know, it may not be life-changing, but it'll be that. Now, if you take that few thousand and you give it to your staff and you take them on a trip, it is life-changing for them.
Correct.
And I actually learned this. One of the first trip that we took them to Hawaii. Said, okay, let me tell you, I made this mistake of telling people the first office that hit $1 million, I'm taking them to Hawaii. Okay. Everybody was cranking, right? This is, I think it was 1999 or something. Everybody was cranking. So guess what? We hit $1 million, right? So now I got to take people to Hawaii, right? And the thing is, so here's the thing, I didn't have to pay for that trip until we get to $1 million, right? And then when they were there, I took them to a luau. All of a sudden, somebody's on stage saying, oh, and we want Dr. Letran to come up here. And I'm in the middle of a luau. So I'm coming up and they go, oh, I just wanted to let you know your staff said to thank you because they may never take this trip without you.
Absolutely. So you just changed their life.
Yeah. Now, it doesn't mean that they don't have a couple of thousand to go, but if they have a couple of thousand, they probably put it somewhere else.
Absolutely.
You know, they're not going to go to Hawaii. And so for me, that was a big eye opener because sometimes something that we think is not that big, because, okay, if you spend a couple thousand, you can always make it back, right? But it made a big difference to the staff. And this is where you talk about, and I talk about this in my book, this is where you start looking at, this is a job, this is a business. No, this is a legacy that you want to build. And then dentistry become more fulfilling because you touch way more lives than you think you do.
Yeah, absolutely. You are so right in the value proposition. It's not always the money. It's how you push people and mentor them and become their leader, or maybe just a visionary and they become the executors, but they know where you're heading. And they become part of your mission. And it's sometimes not the money because they understand that you're doing this part of the job. We do this really something that started off with just 1 or 2 patients and you have a foundation for it. You have like Emily foundation for
Letran Foundation.
for veterans. And we started it off like 5 years ago with 2 or 3 patients. Me and my husband, we started our implants and we would just do it for free for veterans. And it just snowballed and snowballed into an event that now we do it twice a year. And my whole team participates in it. Even my doctors participate in it. And there's no production for those days. It is just all given.
Right.
And we had the NYU assistant dean come in to be with us last year. It was just and we didn't have to do any other effort because people were saying about it. That's how they got to know about it. And other people have known about it. So just giving that value is so profound. So how did you get into the veterans whole treatment and stuff? I know you have a full story.
Well, I'm originally from Vietnam. So I came to the U.S. in 1981 as a refugee. So there was a Vietnam War, and obviously the Americans were involved. And then in 1975, the Vietnam War ended, the communists took over, and our extended family was my aunt, her 2 kids, me and my brother and 2 other cousins. Every family sent a couple of people, and we escaped. We ended up in Malaysia, in a refugee camp, and then eventually we come to the U.S. So for me, whenever you talk about war, even though I was a kid, I was born during the war, and when the war ended, I was 8. But you had those images,
yes,
right? And then when I finished dental school, I actually did a residency at the VA. I did a GPR at the VA, and back then I'm seeing, World War II soldiers coming in. Because back then they were still alive, right? And they do, the amount of dentistry they get is based on their service. If you were a POW, prisoner of war, anything you want. Okay? If you're a new enlister, you only get cleaning. But what if you need a crown?
Yeah.
So when the doctor does a screening exam, the main doctor, who everybody there pretty much have served, in the service, except for us, the resident, we rotating through. He give you a chart and say, this is the category, so you know how much you can do for the person. So you see the system. I mean, I'm not criticizing the system.
It's very limited.
Yes, but I'm just saying that you see there's a discrepancy, right? So on our free dentistry day, it's veteran and families of disadvantaged background. Because when we first came to this country, we were refugee. We got, welfare, food stamp, free housing, like all of those things. I've been through that system, right? And so I understand that part of it. And so remember, going back to values, when you do something that is in alignment with your value, it's very easy to do, right? Because I have that story. It's easy for me to say, I want to do this, right? Let's say a dentist, she has come from whatever background, maybe she was abused. I'm just making this up. Then open it up for abuse patients, patients who have been through that, because it's a personal thing to you. And here, you want to hear a marketing secret? Okay. The marketing secret is your advertisement is something like that. Your advertisement is going to be philanthropy. Your advertisement is going to be, that office is very goofy. They always have fun. They have these events. That whole office go to Hawaii together. That's your advertisement. Between me and you, I don't want people to go and look and say, hey, Dr. Emily has 32 years of dentistry and, this other office has so many years, and then you have all these certificates. It's like, nobody understands what it is.
No.
Yeah. So in my office, when you walk through, you go to the reception room, I just have goofy signs, right? One of the signs say, in God we trust, all other pay cash, right? So people are like, what? I have an older patient.
Human.
Yeah, I have an older patient sitting there telling me, your signs are very offensive, right? And I say, I'm sorry. Some people like it. Yeah, but in the back of my head, I'm thinking, this is my house. I can put up whatever I want, right? So we have a picture of, for example, the maze, the pineapple maze in Hawaii, right? Like we have fun picture. I don't have any beautiful smile picture on the wall, okay, in the reception area. Then you go through the hallway, the first part of the hallway, you just see a bunch of certificate and plaques, and it's, the newspaper who feature our free dentistry day, and it's a plaque of, the local high school band that I give money to. So it's community, right? So I don't need to tell people I care. People walk through that wall and they go, oh, she does this, she does this. And then you got people knocking on your door for donation, right? Yes. Which is okay. If they're my patient, I will support that. And then you walk in a little bit further, and there's a bunch of my certificate. They just see courses that I have to take anyway. But now the patient realize, wow, this doctor go to school. Like this doctor does education. So by the time they get in the back, they already got some information about me. Yeah. I understand people can Google you or whatever, patient review, whatever. I don't know. I'm talking about the patient is already in your office.
Yeah, in the building.
How do you wow them? Right? Now, if you remember, if they were to do that smile simulation in the front, now they're all excited. Oh, this doctor seems really nice because she does community service. Oh, here's a picture of her and her staff. They go to whatever, Vegas and Hawaii. And then, oh, she takes a lot of classes. So when they're sitting down, they have some understanding of who you are. And unless you go in there and screw it up because you're not nice or too salesy or whatever you want to call it, right? Again, going back to my point, if you know that they need it, I would push. If they don't want to do it, then they don't care about themselves. It has nothing to do with you, right? And so I know I've done my job.
Correct. And you've already made the trust from that hallway that they've seen what kind of person you are.
Yes. Yeah. And if I have a younger associate, I introduce the associate to the patient. I would say, oh, this is Dr. Jennifer. She's really good, right? I trust her, whatever. You say a few things. It's up to her to build a rapport, but the patient already understands that she's coming into this office. She walked through this hallway. If I'm this person and this is somebody I trust, it can't be that bad. Yeah. Maybe they still don't like the associate. That's not the point, because that at that time it's between the associate and them.
Correct.
Right. But I've done my job.
Going to take care of it.
Yes, but I've done my job up to that point, right? And I think that's where people need to understand when you're an associate or when you first have your office. If you're an associate and you are in that environment where the trust is being built, right? And it's from everybody. I tell people that if this is a brand new associate, just tell them, give her a try. Give him a try. You don't need to endorse them because what if they're not good, right? I'm just saying, because you never know.
Correct.
Right? But tell the patient to give that doctor the benefit of the doubt, right? And then you build it from there. Let me tell you a funny story. My daughter just graduated 2 years ago. So a couple of months ago, she went to New Zealand backpacking, right? So I'm there in the office with the staff, and the patient come in, an older gentleman, and he goes, I'm here to see Dr. Jennifer. That's my daughter. And we say, well, Dr. Jennifer is not here today. Okay. And I said, well, you know what? I can see you. So we brought him in, and I diagnosed, I don't know, a crown or something. And then he said, okay, I'll come back to see Dr. Jennifer. So this is where my ego got in the way.
Yeah. So I think two things are happening. Ego, but you're proud.
Yeah, exactly, right? And then I go, I'm Dr. Jennifer, Mom. Right? And he goes, oh, that's really nice. Okay, can I have an appointment to see Dr. Jennifer? And, I tell you, this is where you know that you're being successful.
That you've done the right job. Yeah. You've been a leader.
Because I didn't say, I'm not in that office that often, to be honest with you. The office, I bought that office for my daughter. That's her graduation gift.
Oh.
Right? It's a small, it's an acquisition, but it was a smaller office, kind of like a startup. But the point is, she got to build it herself.
Correct.
Right? I'm not there to say, this is my daughter.
Yeah.
And she built a rapport. And for somebody who is older to come in, because, I tell my staff all the time, do not lie to the patient if they're older They know you're lying.
Yeah.
Don't tell them the temporary fall out. No, they have other crowns in their mouth. They know.
They know. They know.
Right? They know. They know how, if you have experience or not. But when you have something like that, and it's funny because my daughter, but it could be the associate.
Yeah.
They say, no, I'm coming back to see Dr. So-and-so.
Mm-hmm.
That's good because, they trust whoever work in the office. The only other thing I would do is collect the money and then send them home, right? I would say, why don't you just pay for the appointment and come back and see Dr. Jennifer?
Yeah.
But
that's where you know that, all your hard work and the mentoring is paying off.
Yes. And this is where dentistry become more fulfilling.
Mm-hmm.
It's because it's not just about you, because now it's about the culture of the office and the services that you can do, right?
Absolutely.
Like I would rather go to the office because there's a complication, something difficult. Like sometimes she'll go, Dr. Jennifer, she'll be, are you going to be in the office today? Right? Because they don't really schedule patient for me. And I go, why? Oh, that so-and-so's coming in and we put in 6 crowns and we're going to take whatever impression, So then, okay, I'll be there just in case. Okay. For support, right? A lot of time what we forget is we already, like I said earlier, that we already know a lot. Because as an associate, you took 4 years for the education. You're just going to have to trust me that you did learn a lot. And sometimes when it's difficult, you just have to take a deep breath and think, what do I do in school? Right? Unless you've never done that procedure before, which I don't recommend you do. The first time by yourself, you really should have somebody help you. Right? But in general, sometimes, we just forget things.
Yeah. It's not coming, or you're so stressed at that time how to do it, that simple things, you're making it complicated.
Yeah. And then it's always bad when your boss went to the same school as you. So she knows exactly what's taught in the school. So if they say, I didn't learn this, I say, oh, no. They teach this at UCLA, you're learning. I just need you to just stop. Just pause and think, what did they say?
Correct.
Yeah, what did the teacher say?
Take a deep breath.
Take a deep breath, right? And so a lot of time you find out that you do know a lot. You just have to trust yourself. And I would say if you don't know, then ask for help. Please. Don't just wing it when you really don't know.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Yeah. So again, going back to being a student.
You're learning. I'm also like every day learning from different associates, different procedures. I think every patient, I learn something different. Personalities, thought processes, the way I work, the way I handle everybody. It's very, very different. Not one patient, like it's not the same. Every room is a little quite bit different. So I know you also do passive investing besides your handpiece. What would you say to a new dentist coming out to start doing so they can save something for the future? Not save, but just in case if their handpiece ever stops, what other options can they do now, invest in themselves, that can help them later down the road, a parallel to their dentistry?
Yes. So I think if you live, for a long time, have more than 50 years, right? You've seen the up and down, right? And like I mentioned earlier, I'm a very simple person, right? You have those options of, doing your retirement plan, your 401k, whatever you have with your existing workplace. Do that, right? Start there. I'm a big advocate, if you have a dental office, that you should own your own building. Okay. Because then again, going back to flexibility, you can do whatever you want. You're in a complex, they say you cannot put on a sign, you cannot put, put words on the window, whatever. I used to be in the complex where you cannot do anything like that. And then when I have my own building, somebody come around and say, do you want me to paint your window for Christmas? And I'm just like, what? We can paint the whole thing, snow and everything, right? And you never had that privilege, right? Like, because you're in the complex where nothing on the
restricted,
yeah, we cannot even put our phone number on the thing. It's really dumb.
Oh,
yeah. So when you have your own building, you can do whatever you want. You can turn it into a marketing piece if you want. You have a little lawn. You can put flowers so people drive by and say,
Mhm.
"What is that building?" Right? Yeah, we had a building years ago. We just painted the whole thing blue. So if you
Just
drive
for
by,
attraction.
yeah, it's gonna be a blue building, right?
Yeah.
So own your real estate, right? The other way is if you're not ready to invest, like make a big investment, I'm sure you can do syndication. You can be part of a syndication, but do your own due diligence,
Diligent.
and understand what you're supposed to get out of. What makes me very frustrating sometimes is people say, "Yeah, I put whatever money in there," and okay, so when are you supposed to get it out? What is the return? And they're very vague about it. And I'm pretty sure they were probably told, but they never take it seriously because now you're gambling with your future, right? Because you're putting your money in there. Some people just want to put it. Some people want to do that themselves. Oh, I'm going to save money to go buy my own apartment complex or whatever, right? And to me, that's like a whole new career. Is that your value? Is that what your is that that important? You know what I mean?
Can you handle
So
it?
can you handle it? Or do you know well enough where you can just delegate and then you just supervise, right? Like they say, trust but verify, right? So right now, I'll give you an example. I'm in an investment project with a company called Lambo Sky, right? So it's luxury real estate inspired by Fabio Lamborghini. So now there's a trusted brand, right? And the people who are involved in this, they're building luxury towers, and their main team are people who build resorts all over the world, right? I know nothing about this, right? I got into this project. I become a founding member. I introduced some of my dentist friends to come in, and now we're investing in the equity. It's sort of like you're buying a dental office and you're expecting ROI to come out, right? Because it's the equity. Yes, I did take them to a piece of land in Los Angeles, and they went there, they look at it, they're gonna make an offer for, I don't know, a couple $100 million or whatever it is. I'm there so I can tell, yes, this is real, right? This land is real. They already have a proposed 60 stories or whatever. So I will educate myself to know enough to make the smart investment, right? I don't know the building. I mean, like we would buy a building, gut it, and build an office, right? So I know the whole procedure.
Part of that one,
right?
yeah.
I'm not building a foundation, but I build everything else. I'm not gonna say I know how to build a tower.
Correct.
I'm not even gonna attempt to learn how to build a tower, right? So understand that at some point, that's for the experts.
Experts
right?
to do, yeah.
Yes, but you're involved, and you being a smart investor just means that you're educated, right? And you understand the journey. Like this is not something that you put the money in and you're gonna get the money out in 6 months.
Yeah.
They're building a tower, so you're looking at 3 years or something like that, right? So what I'm saying is there are a lot of opportunity to get into, right? And that's where your passive investment come in. Know your tolerance of risk, okay, and know your margin, right? Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
One basket,
right?
yeah.
And then there are going to be certain things that you like. Like for me, I understand the real estate because I own my own building, right? So if you say, okay, let's go buy this piece of land and build a tower, I can understand that because I have owned my own building and I had built it up, right? And I understand it takes forever to finish it because of the city. The city and the permit and all that. And I built it in different cities, so I know, okay, this city is easier than that city, that kind of a thing, right? Because I educate myself, and then I have gone through certain process. So my advice is, yes, when you have that money, obviously save for yourself, save for your kids. It's called 529. I don't know if there's another name for it, but that's for education. Yeah. That you can put money in. You can actually pay your kids, right? And put money in for them, right? So you write off so you don't pay as much taxes. And those are the basic stuff, though. That's not even like going anywhere, right? That's the basic stuff. And then you go to, investing in real estate. And there are really a lot of ways to make money. Let's just put it simply that way. The key thing to me is to make sure that you're making a lot of money in your dental office.
That is your main bread and butter that's coming out from.
Because you're going to take that money and go do something else with it.
Something else.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, if you want to get out of dentistry and just go do something else, that certainly is up to you. But what I find is that's a very small number of dentists or doctors who do that. The majority of people still have that income. Yes. Like a little anchor, right? And then they can take this money and go make a gazillion dollars or whatever, but also understand that it comes from there. You know, your trust factor when you go and invest and they go, okay, are you an accredited investor? Your trust factor is because you're a dentist.
You're a dentist. That it makes you an accredited investor.
Yeah. But, well, I mean, you own certain things, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You're different from pizza owner. I'm just giving it as an example.
Correct.
Right?
Correct. Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that if you understand how to leverage you as a dentist, opportunities show up.
Utilize it.
Yeah. Opportunities show up because they know that it's not. I was talking to Dan Kennedy last month and I said, so these two investors are coming in and we're going to do a DSO kind of thing. Right? So they want to go buy offices and then I'm going to be the one overseeing them. The two investors are not dentists, right? So we were looking at a couple of offices. Each one of them is about $1 million. This is to acquire. And we're in the process of closing the first one. But anyway, so I told Dan, I said, one of the investors, he used to own 15 car washes, right? That's what he told me. And Dan just started laughing. And he said, it's probably easier than owning 5 dental offices. So.
The staffing.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I mean, your car wash people, they're just going to wipe the window. They don't even talk to the customer.
No.
Right? And then your dental office, I don't care if you use AI or not, they're going to talk to every single staff in your office. And sometimes they complain to you, and all that. So, and he made a point, you see? So because we run a healthcare professional practice, we actually know a lot about a lot of things.
Yeah, especially human behavior.
Yeah, because we're forced to do that.
Yeah.
Right? And sometimes people if nobody remind you, sometimes you don't remember. You think, I want to be the sophisticated investor, whatever. Well, you're already sophisticated yourself.
Already?
Yeah. Investing is just one more thing if you want to do. I got involved in film producing. Okay. It's a long story, but I ended up in a film production. And then there's another film production. And now there are people who pitching me to do film production.
Okay.
Right? And I tell them, you do know I'm a dentist, right? And they go, yes. Okay. But I got into media and now I'm running, journals and media platforms. But all of that business understanding, it comes from the dental offices.
Dental office, yeah.
Because they know that's not my background.
Yeah.
Right? But it's because of the business. And I don't brag about it. It's just that if they ask me a question, I have an answer. But I'm not in that space.
You think as a business owner,
yes,
because as how a business, because core principles are the same. Keep it simple.
Exactly.
Be a leader. Build culture. Give value. Yeah.
And then people just make it sound so difficult. A book by Dr. Howard Farran, Uncomplicate Business, right?
Such a good word.
Yeah, it just like uncomplicated.
Uncomplicated, yeah.
Yeah, I talk to, potential coaching client, over the phone because I coach virtually. And then somebody go, so do you have a manual?
Manual.
And I'm, do you have a manual? If you have a manual, I can take a look at it and I can help you figure out how to use your manual and actually implement it. But, and then they would say, oh yeah, I just worked with so-and-so for 5 years or whatever. And I said, okay, so did you implement whatever so-and-so said?
Yeah.
Not really. Okay, well, maybe that's a challenge. We don't want to say, doctor, you are the problem, right? So I don't care how many manuals you have. I mean, your credentials. I can talk to you and I can kind of tell, okay, you are the problem. Okay, so if I can help you, okay, or you refuse to change, maybe I can talk to your manager and get your whole team to change.
Yeah.
You know, the main thing, like I said earlier, is to understand yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
To trust yourself. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of us want to trust other people to solve our problem. Okay. Now I understand if I'm working with the doctors, there's a lot of things I can help them solve.
Mm.
Okay. Because I know the answer because I've been around,
Mm.
right? And I've done the training, high performance coaching, NLP, I
Mm-hmm.
study investment, etc. The main thing is I can give you the strategy. Are you gonna do it or not?
Mm-hmm. Are you
Right?
going to execute it? I can tell you.
Yes, I can tell you. I know the shortcut. I tell you real quick the story. By chance, this is back in, I don't know, 19 something. I went to a bookstore and I picked out the book by Tony Robbins,
Mm-hmm.
Awaken the Giant Within. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I just thought
Mm-hmm.
the title was pretty cool. So I read the book and then I went to the back and I read the reference, the
Mm-hmm.
book, the references. So I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I read Think and Grow Rich. I read all of those books, right? So then I go, oh, this guy's pretty cool. So they had an LA expo, real estate expo in LA, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I live about an hour away. And Tony Robbins is coming to speak.
Nice.
So I go, oh, I'm going to go to the expo. I want to see Tony Robbins because I read his book, right?
Mm-hmm.
I got there bright and early at 9 a.m. He's speaking at 5 p.m. Okay. They didn't share the schedule. So I'm okay. I can either just go home and come back
Mm-hmm.
or I'm just going to hang out here. I went to real estate classes.
Mm.
Okay. Then, of course, you're sitting in the class, then they're going to sell you a program. So now you're going to go to a 2-day class, right? So I went to see Tony Robbins and I signed up to 2 different courses, buying a home, flipping a home,
There you
and
go.
and buying like apartments, right? Like for investment.
Mm-hmm.
And I went home and I told my husband, oh, it's a 2-for-1, so you need to go with me, right? So we both went and he wasn't interested, but I was very interested. It was just because, oh, this is another way to make money.
Yeah.
And what do I need to know? Right? But it come from me reading the book,
Yeah.
right? I didn't go read a book, How to Invest in Real Estate. I was reading the other book. So my point again is to be that student, when you read a book, you're learning at your own pace. If you want to fast track, then you work with somebody like me,
Mm.
right? Because a coach and consultant, we are success strategists. I want to call it catalyst. That's the word I like,
Yeah.
right? So if you want to do it fast, that's when you have somebody help you.
Absolutely.
If you want to just figure it out yourself, you can do that. Nobody said that you have to have a coach or consultant or you need to sign up for a program. But when you do that, when you work with someone to help you, you really is investing in yourself, right?
Correct. And try to make harder things simpler because I think the coaches kind of make it simpler. They've gone through a lot of processes and they can digest it much better and they can explain it much in simple terms if you like simplicity.
Right. And if you want to read a lot, I can always give you all the references where you can go read.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Or this is like I'm working with the Lambo Sky project. There's a 90-page pitch deck about a project. Somebody read it and say, okay, I want to put money in. And somebody read it and say, I want more information.
Yeah.
And I said, but there are 90 pages. It talk about the founder, the executive team, the architect, the lawyer, the founding members. They give you all the floor plans. They give you the pro forma. I mean, and you want, what else do you want? And they say, I want to see your track record. And I said, this is a new company and we're building it. So everything is projection. So now it go back to your risk tolerance, right?
Yeah.
And if you believe that, hey, I want to hold equity with a brand name, then this is for you.
This is for you.
Right? Because the whole thing is equity and the whole thing is brand name.
Name.
Yeah.
That's behind the whole thing. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keeping it simple is a hard thing sometimes for people. They think it has
very
to be hard.
Yeah.
They think it has to be very complicated, very hard. It should take time. And if it's not taking time, it's not hard, it's not right.
Yeah. So we have this joke in the speaker's world. Okay. If you want a 30 minutes talk, I need this much time.
Mm-hmm.
If you want a 5 minutes talk, I need more time. I need to prepare, right? Like to prepare.
Yeah.
The shorter it is,
The harder it's to prepare.
the harder it is.
You're right.
But it goes with the preparation, But if you want me to be succinct in 5 minutes, I can do that.
Yeah.
But it actually takes more preparation time. And I just need to make sure that every point lands.
Correct.
Right?
Because
and that's where
is different.
Right. And that's how it's the same thing when you present a treatment plan.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
You can give them 3 bullet points. These are the key things that you need. Or you can sit there and tell them the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Very true.
And which one will get them to give you the credit card? I mean, that's how I kind of look at it. Okay. Can we get started today? No? Okay. You have to think about it. Let's clarify some points. Right?
Yeah. Or I have to ask my spouse.
Right.
Or I'll do it when my taxes are ready.
I know all the same thing.
All the same excuses.
And that's why the skill is in the communication.
Yes.
And that's why the skills with the flexibility. I know, for example, I've just talked real quick about patient financing, right? There are offices that are still not doing patient financing, right? And if you're an associate and you really want us to get started, but this patient can only pay $300 a month, you need that patient financing to be able to start. And then your boss is just adamant about, no, we're not going to give away 10% or whatever of the fees, right? So again, this go back to having that flexibility when you have your own office, and because that would drive the cash flow, and with the cash flow, you can go do your investment.
Very true. Absolutely. You're keeping it simple is so dynamic and exciting, and I don't know how it kind of gets complicated. You're right.
Well, it gets complicated because people don't have the clarity. Yeah, because if the goal is to get, how when you buy an airplane ticket, and then they give you the choices, do you want the lowest fee or do you want the shortest route, right?
Yeah.
If you don't know which one you want, you will be sitting there reading the whole list.
And they have menus after menus.
Right. But if you say, no, I want to get there as fast as I can, then it's going to narrow the choices for you.
Yeah.
And then you just need to
right.
Exactly. But you need to have that clarity.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You need to have that clarity. Well, Dr. Letran, it was so much fun talking to you. It feels like, like I can understand what you're saying so clearly. You're just a very simple person. Don't complicate things. Very easy stuff.
Right.
Yeah. So I think the core message that I got from today is, man, you arrived when you were 13, such very unique, hard circumstances that you had. And look at where you are. You've become like a world-class dentist, high-performing coach. You work with really high performers, speakers. You're the best mom who has
the best mom in the world.
Yes, and blessed kids who are not in drugs or pregnant. So that's really good. I can resonate with that. And, you're a living proof of just keeping things simple, making your alignment, and not the hustle culture there is. Priorities, keep it aligned, and burnout and hustle is on the side. So I like the fact that, you talked about, I like your word of hinge movements. Hinge moves the big doors, small hinges move the big doors that change your trajectory. And why giving back is important. I really align with that. Giving back is such a charm. It's such a blessing to have. And being a business owner, me, just like how you are, I am very blessed to give back every time we get a chance to do it. So that's humbling. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So, Doctor, I loved it. I'm so humbled that, we had you as a guest here. Very excited. Hope that I can have you again and we can maybe talk about a little bit more on the investment and the passive investment side for our listeners, because I would really love to get that more in-depth education for them. And until next time.
Yeah. And, if people have questions, they can have a page they can go and they can watch.
Yes.
It's actually it's like a 15 minutes talk about the dentist might say,
Mm-hmm.
and what you should do. And so the website is coachroi.com.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, COACHROI.com. And they can watch that. If they have a question, they can put in some information and we can get on a call. Right?
Absolutely.
I love to be able to help, especially the younger doctors.
Mm-hmm.
And by younger, I mean, maybe you just started your business a couple years, or you're an associate and you really want to transition. I mean, I can even talk to the doctors who want to transition out,
Mm-hmm.
because I've done practice acquisition 8 times, right? And
Nice.
there's a certain thing that go with it. And again, the question of clarity: do you really want to get out, or do you just really like too busy and you don't like it? Right?
Yeah,
Like
true.
you're overwhelmed. Or
Yeah.
is it actually time to transition out?
To transition.
And a lot of this, I think when we have conversation, people get more clear,
Mm-hmm.
right? Same thing with the investment. Sometimes, I mean, I had a doctor years ago who said he's into everything. Like he's done gym club and sandwich shop, and he'll mention everything, but the largest margin is dentistry.
Mm-hmm. You're
Because
right.
if you do it right, you can do 50%, or maybe somewhere between 30 and 40. And a lot of the other businesses, you don't have that margin.
Correct.
Yeah.
Very, very true. Yeah, you're right. Sometimes brainstorming and just talking out loud with somebody who has the same kind of knowledge and they've walked through the same path really helps to clear your mind. You're like, yeah, I wanted to do it, but now I can think more clearly.
Right.
You're right. All right.
Yeah. Well, thank you so
Dr.
much.
Thank you. Highly appreciate it. And until next time, again, my name is Dr. Jafri, and see you on the next Secure Lender podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you.